All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Daniel Fast 2023 and writing your vision. Remember, the Bible says in Habakkuk 2:2 that we are to write the vision and make it plain, put it out on paper, put it in big letters so that everyone can see and so that the herald can run with it. Okay, so we are going to get started. We're going to jump into today's video and I hope it's so helpful. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to Pearls of Eden. I thought that I would bring you on my grocery store haul as we prepare for the Daniel Fast, because seeing is, better when you can actually see the products that I am talking about. I want to kind of give you a guide as far as what to purchase and what to kind of stay clear from. We are going to be looking at, vegetables and fruits and other things that will help you prepare for the Daniel Fast that you might want to include. So let's go inside and get started. All right, so we want to go right for the fresh produce because these aisles you kind of want to stay clear from. We can get our beans and things like that from there, but we'll see. I'll walk you through the process. So I'm going to go over to the fruits and vegetables first. And typically I don't buy a lot of the things because I want them to be fresh and I don't want them to go bad. So of course I'll get some apples. You can get oranges. I try to get fruit that is not very sugary. So let's see. We've got apples. Lemons, okay? Lemons, I love to have lemon water. And so it's good to detox the body. So probably won't get the organic ones. I'll just get regular lemons because they're fine. You don't have to get everything organic. Some things are beneficial, some things not so much. All right, so let's grab some lemons. All right, and as far as nuts, you can have nuts on the Daniel Fast, so you want to steer clear of any processed nuts, anything that has too many preservatives in it, salt. You want to go with raw nuts that have not been fried. So yeah, I usually do organic almonds, and as you see, they're raw and they don't have any additives. All right. And of course, I love to make soups on the Daniel Fast, so I'll do things like carrots and zucchini, all those type of fresh vegetables. I blend them up and make soups, and I'll do a lot of recipes to share with you all. But yeah, you want to get as much leafy greens and fresh vegetables as you can. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so here we have salad dressings, and to be honest, it'll be very hard to try to find a salad dressing that does not have some type of sugar in it. So I make my own. I typically just do olive oil and rice vinegar, and it tastes so good with a little bit of sea salt. So you want to kind of stay away from all of these already made dressings because they have sugar, hidden preservatives, and all kinds of other processed additives to it, which you can't have on the Daniel Fast. Now here is some of my best friends. Mushrooms. Mushrooms are going to be perfect for the fast because you can use them as a meat substitute to make tacos. You can make them in your, put them in like a stir fry and all kinds of things. You could do a lettuce wrap with them. There's so many possibilities. So one of the things I do suggest is stocking up on your mushrooms because they are a must during the fast. Of course, you want to do salad, so stock up on your salad, spring mix, baby spinach. You can even put those in your smoothies if you like to do green smoothies. We'll talk more about that later. And of course, there is no meat on the Daniel Fast, so you won't have to worry about buying any meat products for 21 days. So you'll save money on that end of the deal because protein is high these days. Okay, so you can have oatmeal during the Daniel fast. So you want to do something like raw oats. You want to stick with that. You don't want to do anything like the apples and cinnamon oatmeal, but you want to stick with your raw oats. And you can put raisins in that, cranberries in it, and you can even use dates to sweeten it. And I'll show you what those are just in case some of you may not be aware. Dates are a game changer during the fast, because you'll use it to sweeten up things, because that's the only natural sweetener that you can actually have. And as you see, guys, all of these cereals are a no, because they are highly processed and they all have hidden sugars, every last one of them, even the most healthiest one. And I'll show you, will have some type of honey or sweetener. Like, let's just take a look at this. It says always organic granola cereals. It looks healthy, right? Delicious medley of corn, rice, quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth, I don't know, amaranth. But then it has yellow corn flour, cane sugar, inulin, flaxseed, sea salt, molasses, all those things you can't have on a Daniel fast. So while it may look healthy, it's got all of those sugars in it. Okay, so here's another one. And it says no sugar added, right? So let's look at the ingredients. Whole grain oats, whole grain wheat, raisins, sunflower oil. See there, you cannot have the sunflower oil. You can't have any vegetable oils. The only oil that you can partake in are things like olive oil, grapeseed oil, coconut oil, but none of those oils like sunflower, vegetable V6 oils. So that's a no. So you have to be very careful, because they look like they are healthy and they may be healthier options, but not for the Daniel fast. Like typically I'll have this, but it's got honey in it, okay? It's got tapioca syrup and brown rice and cane sugar and honey and brown rice syrup. So that's a no bueno. So that's why I say you really want to stick with just the bare minimum. You can find granola that doesn't have anything in it, go for it, and put some almond milk with that. You can have it. Let's see, walnut bananas. Let's see. Yeah, it has butter, and you cannot have butter on the Daniel fast. Let's see. Organic maple syrup. So yeah, even the most healthiest looking things, they have sweeteners in it. Let's look at this one. Coconut almond granola. What are the ingredients? Pumpkin seed, Indian stevia, coconut milk, coconut oil, whey protein. Okay, that's where it gets you, the whey protein, because you can't have any dairy. So you see how it's just so important that you stick with basic ingredients, because they begin to add things in there and yeah, you can't have it. All right, let's go look for the dates. Of course, I love strawberries, so strawberries are good. Blueberries, raspberries, you can put those in your oatmeal for a natural sweetener. Bananas, if you want to make something really sweet like some banana bread without all the sugars, you want to get some ripe bananas, and then you let them sit for a few days until they get super ripe, and you can use that for a sweetener. You can blend it up. There's so many creative ways to make things sweeter without adding sugar or alternative sugars. So let's look for the dates, because that's another natural sweetener that you can use, and you'll want to before the 21 days is up. Let's see. Oh, and here's another thing, guys. You can do almond butters, not peanut butter. You cannot have peanut butter, but you can do almond butter. And I'll show you that in another aisle, but I don't see any dates. Man, gotta have dates. All right, I may have to go look at another store, but I don't see any here. And Publix usually has dates, huh? Wow. All right. Okay, you cannot have any dairy, you can't have any cheese. So this is like you just keep on walking by, because you can't have any of this on the Daniel fast. Okay, so now we're on the pasta aisle, and of course on the Daniel fast there are no pastas. You can do whole grain rices, you can do brown rices, you can do wild rice because technically it's a grass. All right, guys, so let's look at the beans, because your beans, you can do a lot of meat substitutes with them. You can make a lot of soups with them. So you've got your black beans, your red beans. I love the chickpeas to put in salads and things like that. You can get really creative, and you're going to need to. So beans are definitely a protein that you want to add to your diet while you are on the Daniel fast. And you got lots of options. So let's keep going. Okay, so the chip aisle is a no-no. Now, I know that they have some healthier chip options that they say, oh, this is, you know, not made in V6 oil, but you're in dangerous territory with these chips. Even with the kettle cooked ones right here, yeah, avocado oil. See, you know, it's just really sketchy. Just stay clear. And guys, it's not about being legalistic or anything, but you just want to give your best. You don't want to go half-stepping. You want to do everything you can to make this a sweet-smelling offering. Now, you can have popcorn, but the popcorn that you have, you need to get something like this, kettle corn, so that you can put it in your own kettle. It's organic, and you can do it. This one too, I've had this one before, so that's a quick option if you want to do that one as well. I don't believe it has any salt. Here it is, no salt, no oil, and it's just corn, GMO popcorn. So this is a great option, all natural. All right, so let's look at the almond butters again. Okay, so here you have a no added sugar or salt, and so this one would be a good alternative to get. You want to stay clear of those that have sugar in it, because this one right here actually has cane sugar in it. So the things that you don't even think about that would have sugar in it, you have to be careful, because it just might. And remember, you can't do peanut butter, but you can do almond butter. You can even do cashew butter, just simply because the peanuts have been fried. And there are no fried foods on the Daniel fast. No jellies, not even sugar-free jelly, because let me show you something. Even in something that says sugar-free, it has hidden sugars, fructose, all kinds of hidden sugar, names different things, but it's sugar. Concord grapes, what's that? Maltodextrin, that's a hidden sugar. So that's a no. Now, you cannot have any of these Gatorades, any of these, because they have some form of sugar in it. Basically, to be safe, you just stick with water. You can do some teas as long as they don't have caffeine in it. And I'm not talking about sweet tea either, okay? But like herbal teas, as long as they are not caffeinated like green tea. And you can make your own fruit juice if you have a Vitamix or something, and you just do simply strawberries and grapes or something, and you throw it in the blender and juice it yourself. You can have that. None of this kind of stuff. Let's just look at, you know, the ingredients. Whole grain brown rice flour, corn, sunflower oil, non-fat dry milk. Of course, we can't have milk. Buttermilk powder, spices, sugar. So a lot of this stuff seems healthy, but then when you begin to read it, and then you know the names for all of those complicated words that are actually hidden sugars, you know better. Okay, so here we go. Water, water, water. Water is going to be your best friend. Try to get at least a gallon a day of water, and you'll see the difference in your overall complexion and everything. So water is going to be key as far as also curbing your appetite. So 1 gallon of water a day, that's the goal, right? Of course, no yogurt unless you can find a dairy-free yogurt with no sugar and no hidden sugars. Good luck, but I'm sure, you know, you could probably find a coconut yogurt, but yeah, it's just hard when you start, you know, when you can't have any kind of type of sweetener, not even honey, because a lot of these yogurts are laced in honey and all kinds of alternative sweeteners. All right, so milk. You can't have milk, but you can have unsweetened, keyword, unsweetened almond milk. See, some of these are 80 calories because they have sweeteners in it, but you want to go with the unsweetened. And let's see, what does it have? Where are our ingredients? Sea salt, natural flavors, da 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 da. Okay, so that's a good choice. Let's look at this one because that has vanilla in it, so that tells me it has some type of artificial sweetener. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this one, and I typically do the almond breeze, but I don't see, yes I do, I see it, it's unsweet. Okay, I'm gonna do the silk because let's look at the difference with the ingredients. Vitamin, yeah, it's got the same ingredients. All right, but I like the silk one. So my gosh, no pastries, no cookies, none of those things. So let's just, you know, stay clear of that. So basically, you all, you want to just make sure that you stay on the perimeter, the outside aisles, and not be tempted by going down these aisles because there's very few and far between. But you know what, let's talk about the fake meats, because a lot of people always want to go to the fake meats when it's time to do Daniel fast. So let's take a look at it. Let's go this way. So none of those, none of these pancakes and luxurious items are your fast. Plenty of broccoli though. So all of these meat substitutes you want to do your best to stay clear from, because they have a lot of additives, and honestly even these are like junk food. You know, this is not what you want to live by. You want to do your best to, you know, eat fresh foods, and it has yeast in it, and on the Daniel fast you can't have yeast. Okay, that's why you can't have bread, because of the yeast in it. So yeah. But you can have tofu. You can make your own tofu. That's okay. So none of these we're going to stay clear from. We're not going to do the fake meats. And yes, no grits for my southern ladies and gentlemen. No grits, no cream of wheat. That is definitely a no-no. All right, so let's look at this fruit aisle. One thing you can have from here is the unsweetened applesauce, because you'll be able to use this for a lot of things to sweeten up different things. And let's take a look with the ingredients. Yes, it has apples and water, vitamin C, so that's all. So you can definitely do something like this, unsweetened applesauce. All right, like I said, you can do oatmeal, but you want to stay away from all of these flavored oatmeals, and you only want to do like the raw original. Let's actually look at the regular instant oatmeal and see if this is something you can have. Organic whole grain, yeah, so keep this in your office or keep this in your home, and that way you need a quick meal, you get hungry. This is perfect, very perfect to have. I'm gonna grab that. Hey, you definitely can have avocados. I love avocados and tomatoes. Anything on this aisle, anything you can have, even the potatoes, everything that's fresh. You just get creative, you can have it and make delicious meals. Sweet potatoes, I stock up on these kinds of things so I can just have ready meals that are quick and ready to go, just in case I get into like a hungry fit. Let's look at the salsa, because you can have salsa as long as it doesn't have sugar, and you have to read the labels on each of these, because you know, not all sauce is created equal, and most time they have some type of sugar in it, so you have to read the label. This one has tomatoes, onions, green peppers. Okay, so you can have this, no sugar. Awesome. And of course you can do hummus and guacamole. When you're looking at these hummuses though, be very careful. You have to make sure that once again they don't have sugar, because some of them have hidden sugars and some don't. It just depends on what's in it. Yeah, like this one has sugar, but I do know that there are plenty of hummuses that do not have sugar, but you just have to read through the labels and be very careful. And remember, honey is considered a sugar, on the Daniel fast, so it's a no-no. But here you have a traditional hummus. Let's see. And you can always make your own. It's not hard. Let's see. Yeah, this one's okay. All right, so let's look at our herbal teas, because you can have herbal teas, and I love teas. But again, remember, no sugar, like black tea. Can't do green tea because that has caffeine in it. So as long as it's not caffeinated, you're good to go. And especially people that love coffee, sometimes they feel like they have to have something hot in the morning. So this is a great substitute, because remember, you cannot have coffee on the Daniel fast. It is a no-no. You can do it though. I know this is tough, but you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you, but knowing what you're getting yourself into is half the battle. You have to go in prepared. Okay, with the seasonings, you want to do like sea salt. Pink Himalaya salt is what I love to use. Black pepper. Easy on the seasoning, not crazy. You want to be careful about that, not overly salting things up as a substitute for flavor. But use, organic herbs. Use things like that that will flavor up your food without having to go heavy on salts and stuff. There's so many ways to using garlic and using cilantro and rosemary and any natural herb to spice up your food. And of course, with the oils, you cannot have vegetable oils. You shouldn't be even frying anything at all, so you don't even need this, okay? But you can use olive oil and coconut oil. These are great substitutes. And I love to do which one do I use? I always use Carrington. It's one of my favorites. So, and guys, ladies, I use this to take off eye makeup and as a cream before I actually wash my face, and it's always been excellent. So just so you know, coconut oil can be used for several things. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love this stuff, guys. But this is nutritional yeast, dry yeast. You can't have it. But when I'm like just cooking my regular vegan vegetarian meals, hey y'all, this is the business. But you can't have it. You can't have yeast. Flaxseed meal is great to have around. But yeah, let's keep going. There's nothing here to see. Hey guys, so I hope that was profitable, that you learned something on our little field trip to the grocery store as far as the Daniel fast. Now I want to jump into just telling you what the Daniel fast is, because many of you may be new to this and I don't want to assume you know anything. So we're going to talk about what a Daniel fast is. What is fasting in general? Fasting in general is when you push your plate aside and generally you don't eat any food, you just drink water. That is a traditional water fast. But on the Daniel fast, you're allowed to have fruits and vegetables, because that's what he had in Daniel 1 and in Daniel 10, where we see the 21-day fast. It tells us specifically that Daniel had none of the royal foods. He put no bread to his mouth, no flesh, no wine, but he simply ate vegetables and water. And that's the fast that we're doing, except we are having fruits, vegetables on the 21 Daniel fast. And the theme that the Lord placed on my heart is this: 10 times better, 10 times wiser, 10 times stronger, 10 times everything that we could possibly need in order to be successful in this coming year and beyond. And so I want to talk to you about what is a Daniel fast. What should you expect? Now, our fast will start January 2nd through the 22nd. And these dates are very special to me, 2222, because that is a number that the Lord has been showing me very often this year, and it represents open doors. So as we go through this fast, we are expectant of all that Abba will do for us as we proceed in seeking his face. And so what I will be doing, I will do my best each day to come on and to give daily encouragement, to share prayer with you all, and even recipes. I'm going to put some things on my website. So you want to go ahead, if you have not, subscribe to my website, pearlsofeden.com, because there I will be also putting encouragement and daily words and recipes and things like that as we proceed through this journey together. But the first thing that I would say that we all must do is prepare our minds and our hearts and our spirits to seek God. And in all our ways, we acknowledge Him. So we want to make sure that we seek Him with prayer before we even begin this, before we go buy anything. You know, God, will you order my steps? Will you prepare me for this fast so that I get the foods that I need to get? Show me the recipes that I need to have that will help me to get through the fast. Just let Him order your steps in every way that He is able to be a part of this process. You're not doing this alone. I don't suggest you try to do it in your own strength. Everything we do is being dependent on the Most High God to strengthen us through these 21 days. So you want to ask Him, God, will you give me the strength to start well and to finish well? And He will be faithful to do that, but we want to include Him. And so prayer is so critical, involving God in this process. We're not doing it by ourselves, but we're doing it with all of His help, with His strength. So one of the things that I do each morning, you want to wake up, make intentional time to spend with God. If you're like me and you have children, that means you've got to rise up a little bit earlier. Maybe you say 5 o'clock, 5 a.m. is going to be my time when I spend with God. Then I can go exercise. Then I can make sure that I do devotions with my kids and off to work, you know? You come up with your own schedule, but make sure that God is first, that you're seeking Him first, right? That is critical, because this is what this fast is all about. Fasting and prayer. We don't want to leave out the prayer component. You don't want to leave out seeking out God, or else what you have is a diet, and it probably will not even be that successful. Your success comes through prayer and spending time in the secret place where transformation and change happens. All right, so be intentional. You may say that I'm going to pray 3 times a day, 5 a.m., noon, at lunchtime, whatever your lunchtime is. And before I go to bed, I'm going to set aside this time for prayer and reading the Word of God. Be intentional. Write it down. Give yourself a checklist and say, hey, this is non-negotiable. It must happen daily. Now, I want to talk to you about some of the benefits, because, of course, people want to know, what are the benefits? One of the benefits right off the top is you're growing closer to God, because you're spending time in His Word, and you're getting spiritual benefits that outweigh anything that you can receive in the natural. And you better believe that, okay? But of course, in the natural, you're going to notice a difference in your skin. Your skin is going to be clearer. Your mind, you're going to have clarity of thought. Of course, you're going to lose weight because you're eating vegetables and water and fruits. And when you cut out all of the process and all of the sugar, the weight will just drop off. So that is to be expected. And I know some of my friends are like, but I'm already thin and I don't want to lose a lot of weight. Put that in God's hand. Let Him know everything that you're concerned about. And He's so faithful to keep you robust, like Daniel. Remember, Daniel and his friends, they were more robust than their counterparts. They looked healthier. Their skin was more vibrant. All of these things, when we include God, we can expect that for ourselves, those same results. Now, if you are not used to eating vegetables and fruits, and you're used to eating a high protein diet and one full of sugar, guess what? The detox will happen, but that's a good thing. The body's going to detox. The first few days, you may have headaches. This is where you want to make sure that you're drinking lots of water. At least try to get a gallon in a day. And that's going to help fight off some of those dying off effects that you feel when your body is being renewed, okay? So expect that. And listen, when you're fasting, you're going to have like adjustments in your hormones, in your moods. Be expectant of that. That is not a excuse to mistreat people around you. In fact, you have to be very vigilant about your emotions and make sure that you're still making an effort to be kind even when you're suffering, right? Even when you're suffering, it does not give you the right to act a donkey. I'm telling you, fasting is so powerful because it teaches you how to be disciplined. It teaches you how to smile even when you're hungry and you don't feel like it and you wish you had a burger, but you're eating a lettuce wrap, with mushrooms. Fasting is so powerful as far as strengthening the inner man because it teaches you discipline, all right? And you are in the army of the Lord. And as he trains us, we go from glory to glory, faith to faith. So remember that Isaiah 58 goes over everything you can know about how to do a fast and how not to do a fast. So make sure you read that, Isaiah 58. Another thing that's going to help you to be successful is meal prepping. Now, you do not have to go and have all 21 days noted out. If that's you, if you can do that, more power to you. But I'm a week by week girl. I can do 7 days. And more than likely, I'm going to do a repeat. I am not going to be coming up with these elaborate meals every week. We are going to keep it simple because the whole thing is I don't want to be spending so much brain power and time trying to figure out all of these great vegan meals. And I could be in the prayer closet. So I'm going to keep it really simple and not try to go crazy. Now, hey, if you want to go out and do a 5-star vegan meal, hey, go for it. But for me, I have found that more simple, the simpler, the better. Let's see. So meal prepping, always having a backup meal. Keep you a potato on hand. Keep you some granola on hand without sugar, okay? But keep you some backup. So if you ever find yourself in a hunger fit, you've got an apple in the car. You've got some nuts. Don't you go anywhere without having your backup little bag of snacks and food because that's just asking for trouble. And let me tell you, when you're fasting, everybody's gonna want to go out to dinner. Everybody's want to buy you lunch. In the office, food's just gonna show up. Be strong. This is where prayer comes in. And when you wake up in the morning and you pray to the Lord to order your steps, to order your day, to strengthen you so that you don't have the desire to eat these foods. God is faithful. So we have to be intentional about asking him for his help because let me tell you, when you begin this journey and you set your mind to fast, the devil will show up with all kinds of temptations, especially as you get closer into the fast and you're headed towards the finish line. So, but when you're expected and you know this, you're prepared for these situations to arise. And so you have a better chance of surviving, right? Okay, so we talked about prayer. During this time, this is a great time to get before God. If there's a vision that you have on your heart, if there's something that you're seeking God for, you're needing confirmation, you're wanting to know what is the purpose that you have for me this year? What is it that you want me to put on my vision board? This is the perfect time to confirm that and to add to your vision board to see what it is the Lord will have for you to do in this upcoming season. So you get clarity on the vision. It's a beautiful time to self-care, like get you some bath salts and get you some things that, skincare, just take care of yourself. So when you leave this fast, you're like Esther, you've been treated with oils and perfumes and you've eaten great foods and you've gone through this detoxification and we come out 10 times better, looking better, renewed in every area and so much more. Okay, so during your fast, what can you watch? A lot of people fast and they pray, but then they go and they watch The Real Housewives or they watch some movie that is totally out of sync with the will of God. We want to be very careful about what it is that we're watching and what we're putting in our eye gates and our ear gates because this is a spiritual fast. We're not only detoxing with our food, but what we're watching, right? This is a spiritual fast. So you want to be very intentional that, hey, am I watching things that are positive, edifying, sermons, things that are just good, that are going to build your spirit, man, up, as well as what you're listening to. You want to be listening to praise and worship music, okay? High frequency. We don't want to be listening to and watching low vibrational things and we're doing a spiritual fast. That is no bueno, okay? Let's see. One thing I always say, don't quit If you have a weak moment, whatever you do, don't quit. Keep going, okay? God understands that we are but flesh, that we are weak. But what I say is don't go in thinking you're going to fail. Go in with the victory mindset. And you'd be so surprised what the Lord will do for you when you have that mindset and the heart to say, I will not fail, but I will succeed, because it's not by might or power, but it's by the Spirit of the living God. And I'm counting on you, Ava. He wants us to count on him. So we want to also make sure we're operating in the love frequency. Remember, greater love, that's what we've been talking about for many of the Midnight Power Live sessions, walking in a greater love. 1 Corinthians 13, you're going to be hungry. There are going to be times you're irritable. Your body's detoxing. You do not get to act like a donkey. You must operate in the love frequency, okay? We cannot just go and act a complete you know what. No, not acceptable. So again, what are you believing God for? Write it down so that you can be specific in your prayer time. As you're seeking God, you can pray about these things. You can have a conversation with God about those things. And also keeping your journal, making sure you're writing down, the vision, making sure you're being thankful for every opportunity, everything that presents itself within a day, and you have an opportunity to give God thanks. Write it down. We're still doing the MANY MINI many miracles challenge, where you're going to write down everything that God is doing for you, because you're building a testimony, and it's a beautiful thing to do. Let's see. All right, so that is it. Daniel fast, the theme, 10 times better. And I am so expectant. We have to be expectant. We're going to be declaring that throughout this fast as we begin, that we are going to leave this fast 10 times better, 10 times wiser, 10 times smarter, 10 times more youthful, 10 times more renewed, 10 times better. All right, let's see. And like I said, look for me. I'm going to do my best, especially on YouTube, to come on and do a daily prayer, daily word of encouragement. On my website, I'll post recipes and also encouragement for us all. I don't have an Instagram account that is public. I do have one of my old ones, but it's not active, you all. And I do have a Twitter. I don't use it. I'm not much of a very social media person, but I do have a Twitter. It's not very active either, but you can find me at Pearls of Eden 2 on Twitter. I'm trying to think. The website and YouTube, these are where I'm most available, I should say. But you can find me here. But I am so excited about what the Lord is going to do for us as we pursue this fast of the Daniel Fast 2023. And I hope that you're excited. You can do this. I know it can be nervous, starting something new, but God's got you. And if he brought you to this channel, it's for a reason, right? If he brought you here. So have faith, walk out on faith, and just do it. Just do it. You don't have anything to lose. All right, guys, I will see you soon. I hope that you all join me for Midnight Live. If you're new to the channel, we've been doing Midnight Power since December 1st, and we've just been sending Judah first. It's where we pray. We send up our praises to the Most High God, and he gives me a word to share. Tonight, I'm just going to be doing some declarations as we go into our new year, some prayer points to prepare us as we cross over into the Gregorian natural year of 2023. So hopefully you'll join me. I'll be here tonight, midnight, really a little bit before that, 11:55. So hopefully I'll see you here. All right, guys, I love you. See you soon. Bye.